Hey everyone, Mike McClary here, and welcome to another Facebook Live session. Here in the very last live session of the month, also the last Facebook Live session for until we actually open up the course, or actually we're going to close it down at the end of this month. So this is the last Facebook Live for the Amazing Selling Machine before we take the course down, and no one can get in until we completely update it and revise it, which is underway right now. So it's kind of a really cool time for us, a very exciting time. And for this last live session, I have two very special guests on, Ben and Charity, who are just awesome people, awesome sellers. I'm going to be spending time with them next week. So I want to talk a little bit about their story and how they got selling and how well they've been doing, and some really exciting news coming up, especially for Ben here in the next several weeks. But before we get to them, I want to remind everyone that we also have other live sessions just like this one and free training here on the Amazing.com Facebook page. So after this session's over, if you want to check out our previous live sessions, you want to check out our free training, go look at all the videos under there. We have tons of free training on how to get your business up and selling on Amazon, teaching how to find products, how to find suppliers, how to get them shipped in, how to launch them and rank them, how to really get sales coming in, how to optimize your listings. All really cool, free, completely free training here. We also have a more in-depth training series on AmazingSellingMachine.com as well. If you go there, you'll see a 4-part video training series that walks through everything that I just talked about, but more in-depth. Each video is about 25, 30 minutes long. Video number 1 talks all about finding red-hot product opportunities. We actually give you a list of hot product opportunities that we've looked at and found that are selling really well on Amazon, and we teach you how to find your own hot product opportunities as well. And then in video number 2, we show you how to find a supplier to make those products for you. Something that is completely unknown to me before I started my own business. How in the world do you actually find people to make these products? Well, it's much easier than you might think. And we walk you through the entire process of doing that. And in that second video, we also show you how to get those products shipped in from anywhere in the world, no matter where you live. It doesn't matter. Using a freight forwarder, you can have these products made at another company and have a freight forwarder reach out to them and ship them from anywhere to anywhere, kind of demystifying that whole process and making it simple. And then in video number 3, if you have products made and you have them shipped in, you have them sent to Amazon, they're ready for sale, doesn't really help unless you know how to sell them actually. So in video number 3, we walk you through the entire launching and ranking process that we use in our own businesses for when we launch our products, how to get immediate traffic and get immediate sales and have your product start moving up in the search rankings of Amazon only within a few days. So we walk you through all that in the first 3 videos. Then in video number 4, we walk you through how to automate this business and to jumpstart the entire process. We introduce you to an entire additional, very in-depth training series of the Amazing Selling Machine that really teaches you everything from A to Z on how to build, launch, rank, and scale a business on Amazon. So again, if you haven't seen those yet, don't leave yet. I want you first to meet Ben and Charity and hear their story. But after this, go watch those free training videos, and I think you'll love the content in them. Now, if anyone on here, if you don't mind liking this video and sharing it with as many people as possible, we'd really appreciate that. That way, the word gets out to as many people as possible about what the possibilities are for building your own business on Amazon. Now, without any further ado, I want to bring on our 2 special guests, Ben and Charity DeVries. They are a couple that work together as business partners. They have an amazing family. They have 2 young kids that I'm going to get to see next week as well. So I'm excited about that. We're actually going to be spending time at something called SellerCon, which will be in Orlando, Florida, right where Disney World is at. So lots of fun things going on for me personally, because I get to hang out with them and thousands of other people, but for them as well, because they're going to be there sharing their story and meeting other people. But to give you a little preview of that, I'm going to bring them on right now. Ben, Charity, welcome to the call, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
So just so everyone knows, you guys sell on Amazon. You guys are doing incredibly well. I did not know exactly how well you were doing until just a few days ago when I got an updated bit of sales from you. So you guys kind of like to, split up how you guys want to talk, but how have your sales been for the past 2 years selling?
Yeah, so our sales for the last 2 years, I mean, they've been great. It was interesting. We just kind of this last year, we're like, I wonder how much we've sold since we started, because we've started just a little over 2 years ago. So we went back and we looked, and we were like at 1.9 million. So just shy of like 2 million since we started selling, just, a little under 2 years ago. So that was like really exciting to see that number. We knew that last year, obviously, when we ended the year last year, that we did 1.2 million in overall sales. And so it was just kind of fun being like hitting that next million mark as far as our total overall sales from the time that we started. So it's been really super exciting.
And when you started out, I mean, I know that you guys had to have confidence in this, but did you ever imagine that you'd be talking within a few years about millions of dollars in sales?
Yeah, no, not at all. In fact, it's hilarious. One of our mentors that when we first started selling was just, a mentor that kind of helped us get started and everything in this business. I remember being on a webinar that he did for some of the people that, basically we're selling on Amazon to kind of help them out. And he's like, yeah, we just hit our $1 million mark. And I'm just remember thinking, whoa, wow, like that is way out there. And then like, little did I know that like just really within a year from that time that we would be hitting that $1 million mark ourselves. And so like, yeah, it's just as mind blowing, like remembering how I felt hearing that from somebody else and then like hitting that ourselves and thinking, oh my gosh, this is really cool. And this happened way faster than I thought it was going to.
Well, that's awesome. And so everyone knows we're talking about, sales. We're not saying that they're not making $1 million in profit yet. But Ben, about approximately like, what is your profit margin, do you think, on your sales on average?
Yeah, it's about 25 to 29% profit margin.
That's an awesome profit margin to have. Now, one of the reasons I brought you guys on, not just because I love you guys and I love talking to you, was because I love your story. We always talk about how this business can be building an asset for later on, or can be building kind of like a cash flow machine for getting cash out right now and living your life the way you want to, or kind of a hybrid among the two. You guys have made some conscious decisions the way that you've grown this business. So describe to me over the past 2 years what you guys have done in order to be able to grow this business as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so it required some sacrifice in the sense of, Ben's just had, a job. I mean, we all have jobs at some point in our lives, right? And so, Ben has had his regular job that he's had. And even when we started this business, he decided, and, we kind of decided together that it was wisdom for him to stay in that job and to not leave that job too soon. And somebody that kind of is just a mentor that we look up to gave us the analogy of when you start a business and you want to kind of leave your day job, and how do you make that decision is like when you have a boat that's out in the lake and you want to get the boat closer to the dock so that you don't have too far to go to the boat from the dock. So we've always just used that analogy of like, okay, we're getting the boat closer to the dock before we just jump off of the dock and into the boat of our own business. And so now we're to the point where that gap between the dock and the boat is slowly closing, and we're like, we're ready to pretty much just jump off. And so that's super, super exciting.
Yeah. So speaking of jump off then, so Ben, do you have like a time frame for when you'll be jumping off completely into the water?
Yeah, we finally set a date. We were going to say summer earlier, but I was telling Charity, I really need to have a date, that we can actually put on this. So May 1st is actually the day I will be going in and putting in my resignation. I actually have already, created it. So I've got it ready to go and stuff it in the envelope. And but yeah, May 1st.
That's so exciting. I remember when that happened to me as well. So I can truly empathize and know what you're feeling right now. It's going to be a pretty hard month for you because you'll have to like still work knowing you have like this endpoint, but it'll be exciting once you actually wake up on May 1st and realize that you're going to be able to do this full time. So congratulations. That is just amazing. We're already getting some great comments and questions over here. I'm going to ask one right away because you guys have such a great, compelling sales story. Your sales are rocking it. Someone is asking, how do you guys choose which products you sell on Amazon? This is from Edwin. You guys have any advice for him on how you pick the right products?
Well, yeah, the Amazing Selling Machine course really is what kind of helped us with that. the going through the different criteria. A lot of that is even covered in the free training, but just talk like, going through, okay, this is how we find something that there's demand for. This is how we find something that's not too competitive, that there's room in the market for. So we really just followed the criteria, followed the training. And in doing that, if you follow the training, like we've had so many other people too that have taken the training that we know, it's pretty hard to fail if you follow it to the T.
Yeah. And if you follow it to the T over 2 years, really a lot of things really compound. Like if you follow the course and do everything they say, they pretty much hold your hand along the way, and it's really easy to do. But sometimes it's tempting to try to, get a product that's outside of the criteria. What I would say is just follow everything within the training, because they really set you up for success. And over 2 years, we've built an over 50,000 email list, and we've got a pretty big social media following now. And we actually just launched our first competitive product, very competitive, and it's actually doing really well now that we have we've built brand assets over time. So, but yeah, just having product inserts with your, people registering your product, just collecting emails over time, it just builds up as long as you have those things in place. And I think that was one of the biggest successes, is just a long-term thinking, long-term approach as opposed to short-term.
No, that's great advice. So Edwin, feel free, like I said, when this is over, go check out the free training we have on AmazingSellingMachine.com. It'll walk you through how to find hot product opportunities. And then also, if you guys are ready to take you or anyone else want to take the step into like the full 8-week training course with mentoring, with all those kind of bonuses, you'll get details there as well. But that'll walk you through how to find products. The way that we always try to teach people is find products that are the least competitive, that'll still make you a profit for getting started. And then later on, as you build these brand assets, like Ben was just talking about, Kara was talking about, then you can really go outside of the general rules that we give you. One of the things that Ben and I were chatting about just the other day was, like he's mentioned, he's now into competitive products that we might not tell a new seller to sell into, but because they have taken the time to build their brand. And I am blown away that they have a 50,000 customer email list. Without giving away too many details, I know you mentioned inserts, but are there any other strategies you have developed for really building a customer list like that?
Yeah. So one of the strategies that we did was building like an opt-in magnet. So, for every niche, for every brand, there's something that your customer will find value and enough value for them to give you their email address in exchange for that item. So whether it's like a PDF guide, an ebook, maybe an audio download or a video download, whatever that customer deems is valuable enough to give you their email address for. So we ran a lot of different campaigns, either on Facebook, on our website. So where we basically said, hey, you can get this, download for free if you give us your email, or just basically, we'll email you this download, right? So we have their email. So that was a huge part of how that we built a really good portion of our list, in addition to things like product inserts, having people register their product, purchase on our website for the extra warranty on the product, a lot of things like that it even talks about in the course. But we kind of went even a step beyond with building some of those opt-in types of things. So where we were giving people something that they would find valuable and useful, and saying, hey, we need your email so we can email this to you.
Yeah. And it might sound really complicated to like, how do I create an ebook, but it's really not that hard. If you have a blog, maybe with a few articles, that's the first ebook we created. Is we were like, man, I don't want to write all this, and this is going to take me forever. So I'm like, why don't we compile all the information that's on our blog, and we'll take what we already have written and put it into an ebook. We actually did it in Pages or Microsoft Word and saved it as a PDF and put it up there. And now we just we'll just hire it on Fiverr for $5. And so you have a nice looking PDF with images, and it's designed in Illustrator, but for $5, it's really easy to do.
That's something else I wanted to ask you guys about too. So for one, again, great strategies. not overly complicated. Like Jared and remember talking about, you can make this stuff very simple as long as it adds value. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. But one of the things I know that they've also done is they've been very smart with their time as well. So in addition to working a little longer and continue to like reinvest back in your company, what have you guys done also in order to help still get things done while you're working? Have you like outsourced, hired people?
Yeah, we're big into outsourcing. We've built a pretty good team of outsourcers from the Philippines, from Eastern Europe, and they're great to work with. That's one reason I've been able to do this while working my day job. Is what we do is basically we'll just shoot a quick video of what we're needing to do with there's a free software called like Use Loom. It's just a Chrome extension that you record your screen and show your outsourcer what to do and then you just hand that video over to them it's a link. It produces a link in your clipboard that you just paste in an email to them. And then you basically ask them to do it once and then also to create an SOP for you. So if they end up, leaving or get sick or quit, or you have to fire them, then you have an SOP that you can bring on to your next person that you work with.
Great. That's outsourcing in a nutshell, folks. And SOPs, by the way, standard operating procedures. What Ben just described is exactly what you can be doing to make your life easy. And we talk about this later on about this is a real business. It takes work. You have to like put the time in, you have to like get some training, network, and know what you're doing. But once you do that, the goal isn't to give you guys a job for the rest of your lives. The goal is to give you freedom. And what Ben and Charity are doing is they're already focusing on that. They are outsourcing to people in the Philippines, Eastern Europe. I'm assuming you guys have never been to the Philippines nor Eastern Europe. Is that correct?
Never.
So like, you don't have to go to these places. There are online resources for finding resources to do work for you very affordably. And they're taking advantage of that. And as you can see from their sales, almost $2 million the past 2 years, they definitely know what they're doing.
And it's like $4 an hour to pay someone from the Philippines, and that's really quite a bit of money for them. And right now we're working with a single mom that is supporting her family, and that's plenty. The amount of work we give her, that's plenty for her to be able to support her family, which it kind of makes us feel good as well.
Yeah, excellent point. People, I had this feeling too early on. Like if I was paying someone like $5 an hour, am I really paying them like pennies? And they're struggling to get by. In other economies other than the US, sometimes, in other places, the wages are just different. And so you pay what the prevailing wages are. And a lot of times you are really helping them out. It doesn't feel like that, but once you get to that mindset, it really is beneficial to you and to them as well. We also use, I don't know if you guys know this, we use special needs adults in our area who are looking for extra work, and it's a social activity. They come in, they all get to work together, they make money, and then, like I said, they have fun doing some work. They do repackaging for us, all kinds of stuff. And so what you guys are doing is helping out a lot too. That's
one thing I always ask myself too, just a quick little nugget, but always be asking yourself, like, how much is what I'm doing? How much per hour is what I'm doing right now? I constantly have that going through my mind. If I'm doing a $4 an hour task, I'm like, I need to be delegating this piece, right? I should be doing 20, 30, 40, $50, $100 an hour tasks with my time.
Absolutely. And that's great. We actually, I think it was Matt Clark that talked about it at a live event we had several years ago. And he talked about, $5, $20, $50, $100, $1,000 an hour tasks. And early on, we all got to put the time in and do the little things, customer service, writing emails. But little by little, like Ben was talking about, you move up and should be focusing on the more important things that are going to drive more revenue and more business for you. And they are perfect examples of that. We're getting some other questions in too, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to hit you guys up. You guys have a ton of knowledge.
Do it.
How about this? How important is it for you guys to track your stats daily? And do you have a process for that?
Yeah. So basically we do track our stats pretty much daily. We use the Managed by Stats software. And so we're looking at that daily. I'm always looking at our Seller Central daily. I want to know, what are our BSR numbers? Are our sales staying steady? Are they dropping? Also, we track our keyword ranking daily. So we're looking at Managed by Stats for some of those things. Also, inventory management is kind of the piece that is like sort of my area of responsibility in our business. And so that is something that I'm really always looking at daily. I want to make sure that I'm not to the point, like, do I need to reorder, or, you know, the orders that I have coming in, are they going to be enough to cover what I need to have covered? So that's something that we personally look at daily, because, and then we have one of our outsourcers does some of our other kind of checklist type stuff daily as well. But some of those higher level things are things that I want to know about personally daily, and just really be in the know of what's going on. So we definitely do have kind of a daily check list that we go through. And then of course we have an outsourcer that helps us look at some of those other things daily. And then he just essentially kind of sends me an email, and then I have some spreadsheets that he just kind of puts some numbers in and updates as well, so that I can kind of keep a good idea of what's going on with my review rate or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So we do have daily checks.
Excellent. That's great advice. Managed by Stats is a software tool that actually was built by another Amazing Selling Machine member. So if you haven't heard of it before or used it, feel free to check it out. I believe they have a free trial. And also for full members of the Amazing Selling Machine, you get 6 months of it for free too. So this isn't, you know, it's not a real complicated piece of software, but it's really, really powerful. Someone else is asking, okay, we actually have someone who's selling, looks like Deepak is selling 30 days. They'll be out of stock, and they'll get inventory within 2 to 3 days. Can you guys give them some tips on relaunching their product?
So yeah, so one tip that we found is, like, if you run out and your listing shows closed because it's inactive, one thing that we found helpful is if you actually go over to the little edit button within the manage inventory and actually close the listing, that will freeze those metrics. So you won't have so many days going by where you're not making sales in your sales history. It kind of is a way you can put pause on your sales history until that you get restocked. And what we found is, since we learned that little trick and we started doing that, if we have had a situation where we've been out for maybe a week or two, those numbers, like, we bounce back super, super fast, versus when we didn't really know that and we would just let it sit in the inactive, you know, closed because it's inactive out of inventory kind of situation. So definitely make sure you close the listing and then reopen the listing, hit the relist button as soon as you're back into inventory.
That is a pro tip. That's awesome. Another question. Someone's asking about patent searches. Let me see who was asking about this. I can't find it again. I believe it was, Shannon. Sorry about that. Shannon Miner's asking, can you talk a little bit about patent searches and the easiest way to figure out if products you're looking at have patents?
So I found Google patents to be a little bit easier and more user-friendly than the USPTO site, but you could use either one. And then, basically what we kind of have done, and like what advice we've given to other sellers, is if you suspect that there is a patent, you either, one, just stay away from that product, choose something else. There's so many other products out there that you can go with. Or two, if you really want to spend the time and the money to hire a patent attorney to do a thorough search, you could do that. But really, like, what we found is just if you're suspecting that there's a patent, or if, you know, it looks like that there's a patent, then just go a different route. There's so many thousands of products that you can choose from that you're not going to have that issue. And we actually had an issue last year on a product that we did a patent search for. It did not have a patent. We took that product to market, and lo and behold, there was a patent that was issued kind of after the fact. And so we were essentially closed on that listing from selling that product. So, and it wasn't a huge deal. It wasn't a high price tag product. And so we just ended up kind of donating what we had because we couldn't sell it. But just if you suspect that there might be any of those issues, then just go with a different product, because there's so many out there to choose from.
Right. Great advice there. So let's see. Edwin's asking a little bit on, do you use any software tools or programs to optimize your advertising campaigns?
I'll let Ben address that. He's Mr. Advertising.
Yeah. I currently use PPC Scope. It's a really good software to kind of help manage your bids, and it does a really good job. Brian Johnson, that is the owner of that, I've learned a lot from him and kind of what he's done as far as PPC goes, and, you know, creating different campaigns, exact broad phrase match campaigns, and managing it. But PPC Scope really, it can kind of get overwhelming with, managing ads inside of Seller Central, but PPC Scope kind of puts it all together, gives you the factual data to know how to adjust your bids.
Awesome. That is a good tool. I know Selix out there is another tool, and a little known, maybe people don't know this yet, Managed by Stats is also working on their own PPC management tool as well. So for those who have that, I think that's going to be a free addition to them later on. So hopefully we'll be able to check that out as well. Let's see. Deepak is asking also, when is the right time to launch your second product? This is a great question. I love asking this one. So you guys launched one product to start with. Is that correct?
Yeah, we did. We launched one product to start with. So interestingly enough, technically
we made a mistake though, right?
Yeah, technically we sort of launched two technically. So we really found two products that we liked in two different niches. And so we're like,
do this
with both of them. But we found out really quickly that it didn't work to try to really have divided efforts in two different niches and try to start two separate social media pages and two separate websites. And so we let that one go pretty fast and just really focused on that one product that was kind of, I guess, our core product. And so, yeah, I mean, when is the right time, right? I mean, that's the $1 million question for anything, right? When is the right time to get married? When's the right time to have kids? It's never the right time. Okay. Just do it. If you have the resources available and you have the, money or whatever to be able to invest in that second product, the sooner you can do it, the better, because the sooner you can start getting those reviews in, the sooner that you can start getting that sales history, the sooner the better. So there's really no right time.
Yeah. So, and in the course, we give you some tips and advice, but like Charity says, there's no 3.5 weeks after your first product or 4.5 months, whatever. You want to make sure your first product's probably selling fairly well. Like you want some stability there. But then really, like Charity said, it's up to you as far as your resources, both money and time, when you can put into there. But absolutely, the sooner you can do it, the better, because there's a compounding effect between having one product and two products. So maybe you guys kind of like did the right thing by accident by launching two products at the same time.
True. It was a blessing in disguise. But the biggest thing I could tell people is just focus on the 80-20, right? The 20% that's going to give you 80% of the results. And that's always on Amazon. We've joked around that we've always broken our 80-20 rule, right? You start moving over to your website and changing little aspects of your website to increase conversions. And then you're like, wait a second, why am I doing this? My website conversions are 4%. Amazon conversions are 39%. And so if I tweak the listing and make a 2% change on Amazon, I'm making a lot more money than on my website where I make, a couple sales a day.
Great advice. Absolutely is. And but by the way, Paul Barron says, I love that. They love hearing all the stuff, the way you outsource and free up your time. Nick Kazegi, I hope I didn't get it wrong. He just placed his first inventory order. 500 pieces. Nice. Congratulations, Nick. Awesome. That is awesome. Lift off. So when that's ready and shipped here, he'll be ready to start selling. That is just amazing. There's other questions, but we kind of are running into a time constraint here. So I'm going to have to get on to a couple other things. First off, I want to ask you guys, we have a conference coming up, the SellerCon conference next week. You guys, I kind of teased it earlier. I'm going to be seeing both Ben and Charity there next week. If anyone on the call would like to go to it, there's still some tickets left, but I'm not trying to sell anyone on this. Just let you know that I'm seeing them there. And I want to ask for their experience. They've been to previous live events. So Ben and or Charity, what do you guys think about the live events where you get to go there and watch presentations from other top sellers?
Yeah. So the live events are a huge, I guess I would almost say game changer. Like when we were at the live event in Vegas in July, one of the things that I really liked is that each of the speakers were really good about giving some sort of an action plan. And then even like when we would come back, whoever was kind of emceeing or whatever would kind of ask for like, okay, who was able to go back to their room and take action on this, like right now, like what were you able to change? What were you able to do right now to help take your business to the next level? And so that was really fun. And it was really fun to see all of the people that were like, hey, I was able to go back to my room and I changed this on my listing and I got 10 more sales overnight than what I had been getting, or just different things like that, where there were so many really good just strategies, or, hey, if you just tweak this a little over here, you can really start to get better results. And it was all things that people could do right then, right there, to help their business grow.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is the networking piece of it all, and the relationships that you form afterwards, and masterminds you can do with people, and just help each other. Iron sharpens iron. And the nice thing is having the SOPs afterwards to actually look back on, because there's so much information. It's overwhelming. But every time I go to one of these events, I learn one thing that pays for the event.
That is absolutely true. We started giving away SOPs for the live events last year. So even if you can't take notes while watching the live event, you'll get those from each speaker. They'll give you the slides. They'll give you their standard operating procedures for how to execute the things they do. So that's awesome. I'm glad you reminded me of that. I'd almost forgotten that we hand those out at the live events. And the reason I wanted to ask Ben and Charity about this, because we have a very special offer going on right now. This is not like a big sales push. I just want to make sure everyone knows about this. If you're not an amazing selling machine member yet, until the end of the month tomorrow, anyone who joins up, we're going to be giving away the live stream to next week's event for free. So normally this sells for $397. So if you join Amazing Selling Machine between now and the end of tomorrow, midnight Pacific time, in addition to joining the course, you'll also get live streaming, which means that starting a week from today, when SellerCon kicks off, you can log in and watch all the speakers, all the presentations, get all the downloads completely for free, where you don't have to pay for that. So we're going to be there live, but being live stream is just like being there live. And even if you can't watch it, let's say that you're busy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next week, you'll get the recordings. So what happens is we're videoing everything. We have a professional video crew there, light, sounds, everything. After the event's over, they go back, edit everything, and they put it up. And then you can always go back at any point in time and watch the live stream again. I know I always do that. I want to go back and watch other presenters that I either didn't, get a chance to watch the entire presentation, or I just want to review something. So we're giving all that away for free for anyone who joins up. If you want to learn about this bonus, go to asm2018.com. That's asm2018.com. We'll talk about that special bonus that is only available until the end of the day tomorrow. So midnight Pacific time tomorrow night. If you're not an Amazing Selling Machine member, I'd love to see you there. If you can't afford to get into the Amazing Selling Machine, we get that. Go watch the free training. Go watch the other live sessions here on the Facebook page. Go to AmazingSellingMachine.com and watch the free video training. We give away so much on the free training that we have had people go out there and start finding their own products and start selling all in the free training. And then once they have their business up and running, then they've come back and joined the full course to really, take their business to the next level and to get selling even faster. So we try to make it as open and available to everyone as possible. I'd love to see you in the course where you get 8 weeks of the web classes. You get the online community that I'm in, that Ben and Charity, and then their friends, Paul and Nate, they're in all the time. Rich Henderson, Matt Clark, Jason Katzenbeck, all of us are in the community, interacting, answering questions as well. Plus, you get the mentor program. We have mentors that on average have sold $1 million or more, and they're in the community answering questions all the time. That's a part of the course. So the training, the community, the mentoring. And then we also have the private resource vault where, Ben was talking about their outsourcing folks that they use. We have outsourcers that you can go and get access to immediately in our private resource vault. We have a list of our freight forwarders. We have photographers, videographers. We have people that have written up documents like they were talking about earlier, like creating either SOPs or creating downloadable files that you can give away for free. We put all that into our private resource vault so that everything that we've used to grow our business, you guys can get access to as well. So we really try to give the entire course, everything you need from A to Z to getting your business up and selling on Amazon profitably. And so for those of you who are already members, I see several people as well. that I can't wait. I know Todd's on here. Todd, by the way, says he doesn't check his stats daily or weekly like you do. He actually checks it every minute to see how many sales he has. We know that. That's the refresh syndrome, Todd. Welcome on. Nick's a member also. So many of the people I see on here are members. I can't wait to see all you guys. Whoever's going to SellerCon, I'm going to be there. Charity and Ben are going to be there. Come up and say hi. And then whoever is watching this right now and is not a member of Amazing Selling Machine, definitely check out the free training. Check out the live streaming bonus that we have available till tomorrow night, because at midnight Pacific time tomorrow, we take all that down. No one after tomorrow night can get into the Amazing Selling Machine until the new release is up and available. And just so you know, if you do join and say, hey, why would I join today or tomorrow when I know you guys are working on a new and improved version, you'll get the new and improved version for free. We do that every time. Anytime we give updates, they're updates that you guys will get. So don't worry about that as well. When it's out and released and all ready to go for all existing members, you'll get access to it as well. So, Ben and Charity, I mean, do you guys remember which version of ASM you guys came in on?
Yeah, so we were ASM 6, and ASM 6 was an October release. So, I mean, it was great, but like what I really am excited about with this particular release of ASM is like so many people, if they get in now, they're going to really have an opportunity to be in by fourth quarter, which our sales, I mean, literally our sales nearly doubled during the fourth quarter period. So if people can jump in now, they would really, really be equipped to be able to be in by that. And we didn't have that opportunity because it was an October release. So obviously being in October, there's no way you're going to be able to get that order in and get your stuff into Amazon by, the first part of November to be ready for those Christmas sales. But now that's like a huge, huge opportunity where people can kind of have that leg up to get started now to be able to really be up and selling by the time that it's just like sales frenzy.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't sign up for ASM 5, because the way I look at it, we've been doing about $1 million a year. I lost out on $1 million by not joining in ASM 5.
I hear that and like I laugh about it, but it's true. The sooner you get in, the sooner you're selling. And if you miss like a holiday cycle, you're right. That's just an enormous amount of revenue and cash. And this whole business just kind of, it just rolls and increases on and on and on. The more you grow, the bigger you grow, the faster you grow. It's all cyclical. It adds upon each other. So the sooner you get in, the better. We'd love to see everyone there. Again, go to asm2018.com, check it out. And if you can't get in, again, and I mean this sincerely, watch the free training. I keep stressing that over and over again because I want as many people who even don't join the full course, get on the free training, learn what this business is like, learn what you really are capable of, because until you try, you have no idea what you're capable of. We know what you're capable of. I never thought I was at the first. I don't know what Ben and Charity thought, but the idea of like selling millions of dollars seemed like a fantasy for me. But now it's a reality. Ben and Charity are doing it. They've done almost 2 million in the past 2 years. There's no other kind of business out there in the world like it at all. So any advice that either one of you guys have for anyone who's considering jumping in to selling on Amazon?
Yeah, jump in. Like, do it.
Do it.
Just do it. I know it's like, I remember like, even just like when you're a little kid, or even like when Ben and I first started dating, he took me to this place where it was a cliff jumping spot where you could jump off this cliff into this lake. And I remember like standing there being like, oh my gosh, should I really jump off this cliff? And then it was funny because even when I did, like, I thought I was going to hit the water a lot sooner. And there was like this hang time. And I'm like, where's the water? Where's the water? Oh, there's the water. So I mean, just jump off. You will hit the water, even if you're like, I haven't hit yet. Okay, now there it is.
You may belly flop.
It's amazing.
She ended up wanting to do it again and again and again after she jumped.
Yeah, it got a little addicting.
Oh, that is awesome. And, and one of the things, I want to express here before we close out here is, this video is for people who are already selling and people who aren't selling as well. We're not just here, trying to sell you a course. I wanted to share the story with Ben and Charity because they are an amazing success story. No matter what business you're in, what they do and what they have done should inspire you to do better, to strive for more in your life. They're great examples of being great parents, great people, great sellers, great business entrepreneurs. So hopefully their story will inspire you to do something similar in your life. We hope it's joining us. We hope it's creating your own brand of products and selling on Amazon. If it's not, try something else, but definitely, this is the fastest way to get there if you want to. But the last thing I'm going to say here is you'll notice lots of people on this call are asking questions, giving advice, and sharing their own experience selling. That's what I love about this community that we've all become a part of. Everyone's always helping. Ben and Charity shared some awesome tips on here, and that's the way all of our members are. They're always trying to share and give advice to people so that everyone can really grow their business and have more freedom to do the things they want to do in life. They are indicative of the members that you'll meet when you join the Amazing Selling Machine and see us at live events such as SellerCon. So I want to just close this video out. I want to thank everyone. For those who celebrate it, have a great Easter weekend. For everyone else, have an awesome weekend. For anyone who's going to be at SellerCon, I'll see you there in a week. I'll see Ben, Charity, and their 2 kids. I can't wait to see the looks in their kids' faces when they realize they're going to Disney World next week as well. But thanks to everyone. Hope to see as many people as soon as possible, and have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you all soon.